Do this before.
So hey everybody, I am here with the amazing Dr. Joe Chang. He graciously took some time out of his day to spend a few minutes with us, talk about some things, and I am very excited to get that going.
Okay, John, nice being here. Hi everybody. Yeah.
So just some questions. There are many products today that consumers can choose from, right? Yeah. So in your opinion, what makes Nu Skin the absolute best choice from a personal care perspective and a supplement nutrition perspective?
Yes. So really, one of the things, John, I think we pride ourselves and we're really committed to is the fact that we substantiate that our products are safe and effective. Okay? And many companies will say that, but the thing is, they don't use scientific research to prove that. That's the biggest difference in the fact that what we say is what we do.
Wow.
You know, so that's the difference. I mean, a lot of marketing material and claims would be, hey, this is a great product, and they assume that you're going to believe it. We like to think you don't believe what we do, but you will believe the scientific studies that we do.
Right.
Because it generates the data, and we have actually put a product through the scientific research studies, and out of it we'll get the data to prove that it's safe and effective. That's our biggest. We do science.
Wow.
We're a science-based company.
That's amazing. And so that since we are a science-based company, you know, I like to tell people that we really are a differentiator in the industry.
Yes.
You agree?
Absolutely.
So how, from a science perspective, are we a differentiator in the industry?
I totally have to agree with you, John. I mean, don't believe me. Let me give you some data and evidence why we think we are the best in terms of being differentiated in this regard. We do clinical studies on our products. How many sort of companies in our space actually conduct clinical studies on their products before they launch those products? Okay? We have over 75 scientists in-house in our R&D department to make sure that our products go through a vast variety of tests and scientific studies before we even put it into clinical studies.
Wow.
You know, we do that, right? We source the best materials insofar as ingredients and so on. We just don't buy and take on faith what the supplier gives us. We actually have our scientists test the purity and the potency of the ingredients before we blend it into a final product.
Wow.
That's the reason why, and I encourage every one of you, if you haven't visited us here in Provo, we have this innovation center that was built 5 years ago to the tune of what, $200 million.
Yeah.
That's how science is not something that you can just talk.
Right.
I mean, you got to do the research studies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what would you say that we have and that we can do, you know, in regarding these 75 sciences? Yeah. What can we do that other companies can't or don't do?
Well, if you don't have the scientists, you can't do research studies. I mean, it's as simple as that, right, John? Right? I mean, you can dream doing science, but at the end of the day, science is about doing.
Right.
It's about doing experiments. I mean, that's what science is all about. So, I mean, if you don't have those scientists, you won't be able to actually perform those kinds of research studies. So that's one thing you can't do. Most companies claim they're also science-based, but they're actually borrowing science.
Really?
Yeah, from other sources. You know.
So, for example, they'd say like a green tea.
Yeah, green tea is great. Powerful antioxidant beverage you can drink, or you can take a pill containing a green tea extract. How do they know? Well, they don't. Because first of all, they don't have the scientists, so they have to rely on a supplier information. Who knows where the supplier gets that information from?
Wow. So even though they might say, for example, with the green tea that it does that, there's no actual certainty for a large amount of those companies, because they're not doing that research themselves. They're just borrowing research from other people.
Yes, and in fact, I mean, I'll take it back one level. They don't even know what on earth it is in that green tea extract.
No.
Because they can't even test for it, because they don't have the chemists in the lab doing all the testing and see whether it actually contains the active ingredient.
Wow.
For intents and purposes, it most likely just contains some ground up leaves that they took from a roadside.
Well, right?
You know, John, that's the difference, really.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So briefly, you know, there's a lot of new people that will be hearing this. Just, you know, in a few words, you have discussed this at length with us for many years. But just to touch on, if you were going to talk about the age-lock science briefly, how would you describe it?
Okay, fundamentally, our scientists, by using this age-lock science or technology, is able to identify the fundamental sources of aging in the body, in every tissue. Now, think about that profound insight, right? If you know what the source of aging is, then you have a target that you can influence by a product.
Wow.
You know, if you don't know the source of aging, you're groping in the dark. You have no idea how to make an anti-aging, you know, supplement or a skincare product. All right? So, and you say, well, what is this source of aging? I think that's a natural second question. Well, we found it at the genetic level. Our body fundamentally is just a host for these genes. Okay? So we have discovered that all these targets of aging are found in several different groups of genes. So that's our target.
Wow.
That's why we do a lot of genetic research to identify how we can influence these genes to behave like when you were a 21-year-old or a younger person.
Wow.
You know, resetting the genes.
Resetting the genes back to their youthful state.
We're not changing the genes. We are not we are not mutating your genes. We're not doing nothing of that sort.
Don't make me Wolverine, man.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna do that. No.
I want the Wolverine serum, Joe.
I just want to make you a younger John.
I like that. I like that. So speaking of this gene chip technology, I mean, that was really profound. I remember you used to use the analogy of the music mixer.
Yes.
Right? As you get older, the music mixer goes out of balance, and then you put it back into balance.
Yes.
So, you know, we have all of these things that have occurred with Nu Skin investing in lots of different, you know, things throughout the years. Will we ever delve into customized solution involving the DNA with gene chip testing and things like that, or is that something that is not being looked at?
Yeah, we still, I mean, currently there is technology available, genetic technology that you can actually go and send a sample of
your DNA.
The DNA, and they can tell you what your genes look like and so on. But it takes a long time to have that done, you know, 2 to 3 weeks to get your results back. What I'm really excited about and what the scientists are really looking at actively right now and so on is to see whether we can get a genetic test that you can do it on your own.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because the reason why we think this is maybe something feasible in the future is because we are focusing on aging. We're not focusing on diseases.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
So we can sort of converge and isolate we know what the target is, as I mentioned to you. And so we can just focus and see whether we can develop a test to look at just a particular group of genes.
Wow, that would be amazing.
That would be nice.
That would be next level.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it and you take our product and you can say, oh, my genes are actually being influenced.
That would be incredible. That would be groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So many of the people in this room actually that are watching this have been to visit Groviv.
Oh.
But some of them have not been there yet, and they will come to visit.
Yes.
But if you can just tell them just a little bit about what is controlled environment agriculture, and why can that create the best ingredients for for what we have to offer?
Yes. So going back to what I just said a few minutes ago, right? This is how we are committed to making sure you get the safest and the most effective product. And over the years, for some of our products, we are beginning to find that none of the suppliers are able to give us the purest raw ingredients to start our product development work. You know, we are beginning to see it's getting a bit contaminated.
Really?
You know, we're beginning to see that the farmers are adding pesticides that we have never seen before to grow that particular plant. So we begin to see, well, as the business grows in Nu Skin, one day we might hit the wall insofar as not getting enough raw materials to make our products. So we're starting to say, we got to take, hold of this impending issue and see what technologies are available for us to get really pure raw materials.
Wow.
So therefore, we're now looking into trying to grow a plant indoors under control environment. And that's why we call it control environment agriculture, CEA.
Right.
All right. And the name that we use here is that the company is called GrowWeave that we have within this world of Nu Skin. So that company, and we are focusing on developing the technologies where we can essentially grow the plants without pesticides, without using fertilizers, without using any chemicals.
Can't be possible, Joe.
It can't be possible, right? You're saying. So we're going to do that because we know we can manipulate the plant or to nourish the plant with just light and other factors like temperature and so on. Because we are growing it within a space that we can control, we can control those kinds of, it's a climate control environment.
Wow.
So we can control the temperature, we can control the humidity, we can give it CO2, that's what plants use, right? They use CO2 and then they push out oxygen. So we can control all those factors, so we don't need pesticides and fertilizers to make sure the plant is vibrant and really healthy before we harvest it.
Wow.
All right. Now, as we go through this technology and as we find active ingredients in the plants, we can also manipulate these factors that I just mentioned and tell the plant to make more of that active.
Wow.
So we can enhance or enrich for this particular active that we need for our skincare or supplement products.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's the excitement that we have in CEA, is that it's such a clean technology and it's such a sustainable technology. It's a green technology.
Yeah.
Okay? By the way, I mean, it's sustainable. It's traceable. We know from seed to the final plant, we know every step of the way what we have done and what has been added.
Wow.
You cannot say that for conventional harvesting and growing of plants that we are currently doing. So this has a tremendous potential in the future for us to really source clean, traceable ingredients.
Amazing. And would you say then that the ingredients that would come out of GrowWeave, for example, would be the highest quality ingredients, even more so that you can find naturally grown on the planet today?
Absolutely, 100% pure.
Wow.
We control everything. We control what's going in, and we can get what's going to come out. Garbage in, garbage out, right?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we put good stuff in, we know exactly what we're putting in to grow the plant.
That's amazing.
That's the beauty.
So we like to talk about a story where we sit at the forefront of major trends, with especially in the technological age, where we look at biohacking, biotracing, bioinnovation, biosourcing, and combining those elements with, say, Watson and the Internet of Things, of collecting people's information. As we go into the future, how do you see those elements coming together as an opportunity-wise with Nu Skin products?
Okay. Well, we actually, we didn't use the term biohacking, but essentially we did it with HLOC technology. Right? We're starting to understand what the genes are doing. The body. That's what biohacking is all about, to understand your body so that you can personally intervene. Right? So we've already done that, and we've used all the knowledge we have gathered from our HLOC experiment and understanding and knowledge base, and now we're moving to CEA. For intents and purposes, you can say we are biohacking the plant. Okay, so we're doing that. So, and you can see we have quite a few devices we have launched, right? Like HLOC Me, Lumi Spa, Galvanic Spa, and so on. And all these things will be connected and feeding information back. So my dream for the future is that all these things, these devices, will be able, as you use it, to feed back the data, so that the next product that you get is based on the data we get from you.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
That's the Internet of Things, right?
Yeah, that is.
And
yeah.
all sort of like connected together in that sense.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You know.
Wow. And from the Pharmanex point of view, would you say the same thing as far as customized solutions that we would take supplement-wise?
Absolutely, absolutely. Once we know what your body wants and so on, and it's through all this sensoring and data that we get back from you, one data, I mean, the holy grail is you can then, with that data, we send you a personalized or a customized product.
Oh, really?
Just for you.
That would be
Right?
amazing.
Isn't it?
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Right now, we have to take the lowest common denominator and average it out and make a product for everybody. But the next level of innovation would be to make one just for you, by you.
That's amazing. So on that thread, I have heard rumors about a supplement that could be for anti-pollution, depending where you live in, and also one for like instead of just the beauty on the outside, the beauty from the inside. Can you tell us anything about that sort of thing that's going on?
Yeah. So as we all know, the environment is changing. It's getting more polluted. Good example would be currently in Australia.
Yeah.
Every fire is burning out of control. Can you imagine the amount of dirt and particles being put into the air?
Terrible.
Right? Every day you have to breathe that. So we recognize it's something that we have to look at, and maybe with a product we can at least build a shield against this kind of pollutants from the outside.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the anti-pollution product.
So would it be like cellular protection or
both?
Oh, wow.
That's the thing. When you take this particular supplement, it will protect against what you breathe in, and it will also start to detoxify you.
Really?
From the cells. So it is that's why we call it an anti-pollution pollution product. It's not just about external pollution, it's also about the internal pollution that you already have.
Wow.
That we can clean you out in a way.
Really?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So that's really something we are looking forward to.
Great. Yeah. And I had also heard a long time ago, you had told me about weight management supplements and things like that, and a high performance line that might be coming with technology, wearable technology or something like that. Are we still looking into that, or is that still a vision for the future with us?
Absolutely. In fact, the future is pretty close.
Is it?
Yeah, it's looking maybe by the middle of next year, not 2020, right? This not. I'm talking 2020 now. So when I say next year, it's 2021.
Okay.
It's likely that you'll hear more about these lines of products.
Like high performance and wearable fitness type stuff.
Nutrition, wearables.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Complete line.
That's exciting.
Okay.
I get very excited about that.
Okay.
So all of these factors coming into play, the technology that we have with AgeLock, with GrowVive, with the gene chip technology, all the success process with Pharmanex and how that applies to personal care and everything that we've created and where we are planning to go. Adding the Internet of Things, Watson, data, taking data and customized solutions. Do you think that we could actually be like a superpower as far as personal care and supplementation is concerned in the industry?
Oh, I think we are the only superpower.
Yeah.
Well, frankly, right? Think about it. Which company can you actually name that has a leading anti-aging skincare category and a nutritional supplement anti-aging category?
Right.
You can have either one of those. I think I can certainly name a company or two that will focus on one, but not the other. We're the only company that has been able to bridge these two categories, and because we innovate and have a very fundamental understanding of what ages a skin tissue versus the rest of the body, that we are able to maintain these two categories.
Wow.
As well as we can. And in fact, we're the only superpower that does that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one last thing for new people, you know, Nu Skin's been around for 30 years.
Yes.
But for the new person that is coming in and just hearing about this for the first time, do you believe that we have a blue ocean in front of us for people to come into this opportunity just based on how our products are so disruptive in the marketplace?
Absolutely. Blue ocean every 2 years, in fact. It never turns red.
Really?
Yeah, for the last 34 years, what I'm telling you now today, it's not a story that we had 30 years ago, John.
Wow.
You know, during your dad's time and your mom's time, in fact, they had a different story.
Yep.
We were very innovative when we told that story 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, over the years, you know, innovation has happened. I mean, the computer industry is a prime example. Who uses landline anymore? Right? So landline at the time was great, no doubt.
Rotary phone.
Yeah, rotary phone. It's the same in science and in terms of nutritional supplementation and skincare. We continue to innovate, and because Nu Skin's commitment to do that, that's why the blue ocean will always remain blue. It never turns red.
Wow.
Because what we do today, one day we know maybe competitors will come in and make the water red, but we've moved on to another ocean.
Wow.
I mean, that's the point. When we are a 30-year-old company, but we're not an old company.
Yeah, that's right on the money.
Yeah.
We continuously innovate, we continuously disrupt, and we continuously create the new trends that are there in the industry. And I love that and wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I thank you so much for spending this time and being so candid with all your responses. It's amazing.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you,
John.
Joe. Thank you.
Ciao. Thank you. Bye-bye.